먼저 커피 더 줘?
짠. 깜짝아.
이거를 땅에다 심으면 뿌리 너무 많이 던지니까 가자.
됐어? 붕어빵이야? 만 주고 먹진 않을게. 맛있게 드시오.
됐어?
아, 됐어.
Nothing has been the same, yeah, ever since you arrived. Coming into my orbit, be my satellite. But how do I pull you closer when you're in outer space? Want you to crash into me. Just want your love, your love, your love. 'Cause I'm so in love, in love, in love. Outside my window, seeing you in the sky. Wanna give you a diamond, yeah, I wanna make you mine. Sending a sign from up above, 'cause I'm so in love, in love, in love. Ooh, baby, what's the point in being alone? I wish you were mine. Satellite, satellite. Ooh, baby, said you like me too, but you won't. That body's killer. Satellite, satellite. Please tell me that you're looking back at me too. Satellite, satellite. Ooh, baby, what's the point in being alone? I wish you were mine. Satellite, satellite. Ooh, baby, said you like me too, but you won't. That body's killer. Satellite, satellite. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Satellite, satellite.
감사합니다. 네?
Extra days. I know that it's just time passing me by.
매장 입구는 좌측입니다.
그치, 따숩게 하고 갔어. 집 놓고 올게.
아주 잘하네. 요즘 표고버섯이 많이 나나 보네. 지난주에도 엄청 커.
표고버섯이 지금이 잘할 때네.
아니야.
나는
끝이야.
나는 몰라.
비닐하우스 속에서 아니 비닐하우스 때문에 거기 일을 해놔가지고 저 공부가 거기 표고버섯 거기에 비닐하우스
고래밥 좀 커. 이거. 쉬셔요.
Nothing has been the same yeah, since you arrived. Coming into my orbit, be my satellite. But how do I pull you closer when you're in outer space? Want you to crash into me. Just want your love, your love, your love. 'Cause I'm so in love, in love, in love. Looking outside my window, seeing you in the sky. Wanna give you a diamond, yeah, I wanna make you mine. Sending a sign from up above. 'Cause I'm so in love, in love, in love. Ooh, baby, what's the point in being alone? I wish you were mine. satellite. Ooh, baby, what's the point in being alone? I wish you were my satellite, satellite. Ooh, baby, said you like me too, but you won't. Like bodies collide, satellite, satellite. Ooh, baby.
At some point, I started getting perceived as a grown now. Yeah, it snuck up on me. I remember days on the back of the school bus, making up us, wanted to grow up, but now I'm missing the old days. They were so simple now. There are memories. Honestly, I can't believe babies anymore. I'm getting
우리 다 다음 주에는 그거 먹자. 과메기 주문해 먹자. 이렇게 많이 볶으래. 이게 많은 거지.
그 아래 무김치 있어.
응, 맛있어. 완전 탈탈이 되네. 오케이.
I'm still learning.
감사합니다. 추워 추워 추워.
파고. 잘 먹겠습니다.
먹었어.
Nothing has been the same, yeah, since you arrived. Coming into my orbit, be my satellite. But how do I pull you closer when you're in outer space? Want you to crash into me. Just want your love, your love, your love. 'Cause I'm so in love, in love, in love. Looking outside my window, seeing you in the sky. Wanna give you a diamond, yeah, I wanna make you mine. Sending a sign, I'm up above. 'Cause I'm so in love, in love, in love. Ooh, baby, what's the point in being alone? I wish you were mine. Said you like me too, but you won't. That body's built. Please tell me that you're looking back at me too. Satellite, satellite. Ooh, baby, what's the point in being alone? I wish you were mine. Baby, said you like me too, but you won't. That body's built. Satellite, satellite. Ooh, baby.
그래서 할머니 김장김치가 저거구나. 너무 답답한 거야. 왜 예매를 안 하는 것인가?
알잖아. 나 그래서 너 눈치챘을 줄 알고 지금.
아 전혀? 전혀 안 챈다. 아 근데 아빠 바지가 청바지구나.
내가 그래서 아빠한테
응.
자꾸 오빠 그래봐야지 이거 입고 유명해 당연히 손설자 했더니 아니래 괜찮대 그래갖고
아 그래. 근데 잔다 이제.
좋지?
좋아 고마워.
엄마는 얘기하려 하는데 아빠는 또 우리 유명해 또 깜짝 서프라이즈를 해주고
언제 결정 난 거예요? 추워 추워. 만두속 많이 넣어요 내가 지금?
긴장했어 만두 빚는 것도 긴장했어 갑자기 막 이것저것들이 막
아니 노인대학에서
고기 만두였어? 김치 만두였어? 고기 만두였지
딸내미가 그렇게 이쁘지 않나 보네.
근데 아까 엄마 이쁘다 그랬어 딸내미 이쁘다 그랬어 그러지 마
미쳤다.
만져봐. 이거 뭉쳐지는 눈이다.
또 습살이구나 엄마하고 할머니도 올라가랄게
완전 좋다.
일번 잘못 눌렀어요.
네, 감사합니다.
맛있겠다